Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. Okay, I tried to record a video just a moment ago, but I think I actually just snapped a picture. So we're going to start this all over again. Basically, what I'm here to do today is to just mention a few players that you may or may not have ever heard of in the NBA that are playing very, very well. I get all my information from fantasy basketball and watching highlights. If you watch my videos, you probably already know that. Haven't had a chance to watch these guys in person. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to watch these guys play any full-length games or anything like that. So I'm not here to really necessarily give you a rundown of who these guys are or their stats or anything. Just telling you who's playing well, and then from there, you can look these names up, do your Googles, and pay attention to these guys in your local NBA screens. So the first name that I'm going to offer you guys is a guy by the name of Chuma Okeke, and he plays for the Orlando Magic. Now, the Magic just traded away just about everybody on the team that was making any money or had any real basketball skills. They traded away everybody. And left behind are some guys that are probably young players, rookies, and things of that nature. And guys that were kind of left over, maybe a couple guys they might have acquired in a deal like Porter or something like that. But for the most part, the Orlando Magic is a team that's running a bunch of guys that probably would not be starting or even getting meaningful playing time on some other teams. Now, Chuma has taken advantage of every opportunity given to him. He has scored the ball very well, rebounded the ball very well, and getting you some defensive statistics as well in there. So he's definitely a name to pay attention to going forward. A guy just basically thrusted into an opportunity and taking advantage of it. I believe he's a rookie, power forward, and he's somebody who, if only he could have had this opportunity at the beginning of the season, he would be rivaling the guys for Rookie of the Year, I think. So keep an eye on a guy by the name of Chuma Okeke or the Orlando Magic, because I think the future is very bright for him and the opportunity is definitely there. The second name I want to offer you guys is a guy who plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, who has made a name for himself very recently as a small forward, surprisingly, since they have several of those. But this dude is really making a name for himself. His name is Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann of the LA Clippers. Again, another guy that I haven't watched a whole lot of, but I have paid attention to him on my fantasy team. And over the last several games, he's been averaging in double figures. And he does a little bit of assists, a little bit of rebounding. So he's not really a big defensive statistical guy from what I've seen. But he definitely puts forth his best effort in being consistent. And that's what stands out about Terrence Mann. You can pencil him for about like 13 and like 7 right now, and that's not his averages, but that's just off the top. That's what it looked like to me. His averages have been over the last couple games. He's really giving you a lot, and he seems to be getting better every game. The Clippers have been short-handed, and he has taken advantage of every opportunity as well. I think he's earned himself some playing time in the future, and maybe even a starting role somewhere, if not with the Clippers, somewhere for sure in the future. So yeah, Terrence Mann, that's the second name on the list. The third name on the list today is going to be a guy by the name of Jalen McDaniels. Now, you've probably heard me talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves as it pertains to the young players that they have on their team. They have a couple guys that I like over there, including Anthony Edwards. There's a few other names, too. They're not coming off the top of my head right now. But one of the guys that I didn't or wasn't aware of that has been getting big minutes is Jalen McDaniels. He's a small forward. I think he plays a little shooting guard as well. And I don't really know his game that well at all, but I do know that he's giving you some blocks to go along with some rebounds and some points. So if you need somebody who can give you some defensive statistical categories, as well as some scoring, you don't have to look too far. Jaden is a guy who can block shots from the small forward position. I love those type of players. So yeah, keep an eye on Jalen McDaniels. He's starting to become a standout for the Timberwolves, and being that they are not playing for anything right now, he's due to get some big minutes going forward, possibly 30-plus minutes every night for the rest of the season. So, yeah, definitely somebody to pay attention to, Jalen McDaniels. And another name that I want to offer up here is a guy who was recently traded to the Detroit Pistons. And now he's missed a couple of games since being traded to the Pistons with a little nagging injury, if I'm not mistaken, and they decided to rest him in the last game. But in the games that he did play for the Detroit Pistons, he was giving you a little bit of everything, defensive stats and offensive stats. And this is somebody who's had somewhat of a breakout season, even though inconsistent nevertheless because of injuries. But Hamidou Diallo of the Detroit Pistons, and he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder just for the last couple years and to start this season. And Oklahoma finally gave him some minutes earlier in this year, and he really took advantage of them, scoring consistently. He really showed us that he's a nice athlete in this league, who's not afraid of the moment, who has a lot of energy, a lot of upside with his energy that he brings to the table. So Hamidou Diallo is definitely somebody that the Detroit Pistons are going to love having going forward. I believe he plays the shooting guard, small forward position, if I'm not mistaken. And he's somebody who can do a lot for you if you give him big minutes. So I would imagine Detroit will do just that. And another name that I want to offer up here is related to a guy on the Oklahoma City Thunder, Nikola Walker, I believe is his name. Nikola Walker. I think it's Walker. Nikola Alexander for sure. Walker, I think, is the last name, but I'm not 100% certain about that. But he is cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a big-time star player for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he's not falling too far from the tree. He is just over the last several weeks with Lonzo Ball being out for the Pelicans. He has stepped in at the 1 and 2 role and has really showed out both defensively and offensively. He is all over the place, just like his cousin. He seems to have all the game in the world. At this point, it's ever so clear to me that the New Orleans Pelicans need to create space for this guy and do it now. Now, I'm a big believer in Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball should have been traded. When you had a guy like this on your roster, so should have been gone. I'm not going to even lie. Because they also got Eric Bledsoe on the roster, and they also have Kira Lewis on the roster, who's a young point guard with a lot of potential as well. And he's not getting any playing time because, of course, Nikhil is in front of him, and Nikhil is playing out of his mind. So you just got too many guards with too much upside on the New Orleans Pelicans, and I'm kind of disappointed that David Griffin didn't trade Lonzo Ball to create space for all these guys, because Lonzo's too young and too good to have a guy like that looming on him, looming behind him for playing time. Neither one of those players should be in that situation. But Nikhil has taken advantage of Zoe's absence, and he's been playing, just as good as any starter in the league, to be honest with you. He's been playing that good. Over the last, I'd say 4 games, he's giving you what you need. And so for a guy like that, it's just about getting playing time, and I think the playing time will be created for him. I think it would be very, very wise for Stan Van Gundy to create that for the young player. So those are the names I wanted to offer you guys. Just young players that are playing well, man. It's a lot of them. And of course, there's a guy in the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I never understand how to pronounce his name. Poku, and it has the ski at the end. So forgive me, I'm butchering the name, but he's also balling for the Oklahoma City Thunder on both sides of the floor. Very, very interesting kid with metrics that are long arms, skinny kid with a lot of game. So usually that goes well when you have those type of metrics, and he's no exception. I'm looking forward to seeing how Oklahoma puts all of what they have together over the next several years, because they have picks and young players, and the young players that they have are eye-openers. Like, they have above average upside talent that they're finding in middle of the draft, the G League. Like, they're just doing a great job of putting talent together, as they always have. So big shout out to that organization there. So that's what I wanted to give you guys. Those are the young players that are on my mind playing well. There's a couple older guys that are really starting to step up and show me that they are still guided, or a guy like Clint Capella is the name that comes to mind, who's playing out of his mind right now, rebounding, dunking, scoring at a high percentage, just completely playing great for the Atlanta Hawks right now. So a name like that, I figured would be worth mentioning as well. So yeah, man, I'm sure there's some others. I know I'll come up with another video here giving you a bunch of new guys that are balling. There are some others that I probably forgot, but I think I touched on the ones I intended to. So yeah, do your Googles. Find out who these guys are. Become fans of them. Root for them. Support the NBA. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.